Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and yes, we're checking out how you can get your very own free guitar workbench. It's going to be a little bit different than you think, but stick around. I'll give you some tips on a little bit of maintenance with your guitar, but I want to go into way more in-depth videos very soon on this channel. And hey, it's great to have you stopping by. Here we go, free guitar bench right now. That's right, so you probably guessed, it's an ironing board. Now I know you might be thinking, I probably thought I could win a free bench or something like that. Sorry about that. So what we're talking about is just guitar maintenance. Now on this channel, in the coming weeks and months, we're going to do so much guitar maintenance work, but we need to start with a guitar restring, right? So why would you want to change strings at all? When you change strings, not only will your sound be louder acoustically on an electric guitar or an acoustic guitar, it'll sound a little bit brighter, it'll cut through, it'll feel so much nicer, and once you've stretched them in, it'll actually stay in tune better than old guitar strings. So I'm not going to joke here, it actually, to me, when I change strings, it almost feels like a new guitar. It just feels like that big of a difference to me, and the longer you leave it from changing strings, the nicer it'll feel. So taking care of your guitar is so important. Although this isn't a really in-depth maintenance video, it's just some quick tips when you're changing strings, things that I use. Like tip number one, use that free guitar bench that you've got at home. Use that ironing board, okay? Although I'm sitting down at the moment, I would often be standing up, so I would have it even higher, so you don't have to bend your back over and crunch to get it. It's nice and high already. Now there's a nice sort of polish that used to be shiny, so we're gonna shine it up. There is, oh my God, it's so dirty. There is dirt and dust and grime, and sweat all through the strings on this nice sort of maple board and up on the headstock too. Okay, so first things first, if we're restringing, take everything off. Take off the tremolo arm, take off the strap. Okay, so let's do that. We've taken everything off, we've taken the tremolo arm and the straps. Now here's a couple things that I really like when I'm changing strings. Number one, I love this. Now a lot of different companies make this. It is essentially some pliers to cut the strings and a string winder at the end to wind up those strings. That makes it a lot easier. Now this is a Planet Waves one, but of course there's lots of different brands that make them. Or if you're interested in just one thing, this Ernie Ball Music Man toolkit I think is really cool. Let's open it up. Now this isn't a sponsored video in any way, I just think this is a cool bit of kit. So open it up and it's got all different Allen keys, maybe different screws, different things you need to tighten or loosen. You've got, again, a little string winder, which is cool. You've also got, if you're doing like a full sort of action or full service, you've got a ruler to check out the different string heights there. Again, another screwdriver, pliers, and a cloth. As you can see, this is pretty much brand new because I just really used this. But if you're doing a full service, again, these are the tools of the trade. One kit is a great idea. It's all in one place. And here's the other couple of things that I use. So these are great strings, however, I'm not affiliated, and really, choose the guitar strings not only that you like, but that you can afford, okay? These were really on special, so I picked them up. Otherwise, they're quite expensive, but great strings. I've got some board sauce here, so that's for the guitar fretboard. I've got some polish spray that I'll use for the body of the guitar. And if this was, let's say, an acoustic guitar or a guitar without a glossy finish, so like a wooden finish, maybe the back of the neck, I would use the body butter. Now, great stuff. This is a guy from Melbourne, good friends, Michael Harron. Highly recommend. I'll put a link to all this stuff. It's just, I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't just the best out there. I haven't found anything as good. Really good stuff. So let's do it all right now. And another quick tip, if you do want to rest something under the guitar to make the headstock stick up a little bit more, that way when you do the string winding, you can just wind it without anything getting in the way. Okay, so the first thing I would do is unwind those strings, okay? Make sure there's lots of slack before taking them off. Never, if there's full tension, just cut the strings. I think that's a lot of tension going from the guitar, from tension to no tension. So I would loosen them all and then give it a full clean. So let's do that. Okay, so just for full transparency, let's just have a look at the dirt and the grime. Oh, it's gross. So how we're going to do it, how we're going to clean this guitar, is we're going to be using some of the polish and the spray and straight to the body. And we're going to be not pointing at the electronics, of course. We're going to be onto the body, and then we're going to be using a cloth to sort of buff it through. So let's do that. Okay. Okay, and there we go. Guitar's back to having a beautiful shine to it. Really effective. All of that dirt and grime is gone. Okay, next step. So we're going to do a little bit of the board source on the fretboard, just a tiny bit. Let's do that. Just a tiny bit, and we'll use the other side of the cloth that I was using, so it's not the polish that's going straight into the fretboard. The last step of the clean is, well, look at that neck. My gosh, that was certainly one of the reasons why I picked up this particular guitar. The flame neck is just, ridiculous. It's awesome. So let's chuck a little bit of body burners. This is more of if you have just a plain sort of wood matte finish, or an acoustic guitar, something like that. A guitar without a polish. So you don't use this on that, you use it more on the wood. Let's do that. Okay, now that's all done as well, and it's secondary obviously to cleaning it, but it's really brought out more of the flame in the neck as well. Crazy. Okay, next part, putting on the new strings. Okay, so we're putting on the new strings, so I'll do this process with all of the strings, but just to show you once, I'll put it through the string post so it's ready to go, then I'll leave it about an inch, I'll then cut that inch and bring it back, lock it in and start tuning. So let's check that out. Through the posts, cut the excess off, find it later, then thread it back through, leave just enough through the post and lock it in at the bottom. Now if you don't have locking tuners like mine, the process is a little bit different, but hey, that's okay. This is just showing you my particular guitar, and then we just tune up. Let's do that. Okay, there you go. Guitar is all done. As you can see, so much shinier. Feels that much smoother, that much nicer. And thanks to all the products, it smells that much better too. Let's plug it in and let's have a go, hey? Okay, guitar's back, looks nice, smells good because the cleaning products, of course, and sounds pretty good, but I promise in 3 seconds it's going to be out of tune. So these are brand new strings, you need to stretch them in. So something that I've been doing for the longest time, hopefully I can get a bit of a zoom here. Oh, new strings, so shiny. So each string I go one at a time, I put my finger underneath the string, go up to the 12th fret, it's roughly halfway, right? And I just pull. I pull the string up away from the fretboard, bit hard to see, but it's probably good centimeter away, until you start to feel a little bit of tension, and I just hold it there, count to 12, a little bit of a wiggle. Don't pull it too much because you'll break the string. Go to the next string. Again, hold it up so you're away from the fretboard, you're giving it a little bit of tension there. Keep going until you've done all the strings, and just keep. Once you've done all the strings, give it another play. A little bit out of tune, okay, you're gonna need to tune it up. Play for a little bit, do the same process again. Normally for me, I don't know, 2 or 3 times and then it's fairly stable. If I had a gig or if I was recording, I would spend a lot more time really stretching them in. But because we're just home recording videos with this particular guitar, I stretch them in sort of, every day before I play. So let's do that. Okay, so it's all stretched in now. Let's hear how it sounds. Clean it up a little bit. Sounds pretty nice. It certainly feels so much stays and feels so much nicer than before, slinkier, and hey, it's ready for the next month. So if you're asking yourself, Pat, how many times should I change my strings? Depends how much you play. When I was in uni and I was playing 3 hours a day, something like that, maybe even more, then I would be changing strings every single week. These days for me, playing an hour-ish a day, I change once a month, but it depends on how much you sweat, how dirty your fingers are, what the room is like. Just try it. Maybe try every couple of months and see, is that going to be enough? But if you haven't changed your strings and it's been a year, it's been multiple years, trust me, sometimes just changing the strings or taking your guitar to a shop and getting it professionally set up, it'll make it feel and sound like a new instrument. It really is like a massive difference. So get into the habit of doing that. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Everyone has a free guitar workbench. Now you know that. Hey, hopefully this inspires you to play more, practice more, or even just buy some new strings and check them out. Alright, I've been Pat from Pat Music. Any issues you're having, leave a comment below. See you again for another video really soon.